I tend to prefer having the fader down for the track that's coming in, and bringing in only a few seconds before I'm about to do it. That's just how I prefer to do it. Now, here, this is something you have to be very, very quick on. When we're looking at this, it's a technique we looked at before when you are doing this quick transition. But we're doing it in a moment here where we're adding a lot of effects. So in this particular instance, we're creating this big build, we're creating all this drama, creating all this, we're building up the car chase. It's in the middle of the scene. But the thing is, you build all this up, right? And if you don't cut it all out when you're transitioning so hard into the next one, it just sounds messy, doesn't sound nice, and then the second part of that transition, that next section you're going into, it doesn't have the same impact because you have all this stuff around it. And I noticed this with a lot of productions, that there is a lot of stuff happening, but not when it should be, and then it happens when it shouldn't happen, and then it just doesn't have the same impact because there's just too much stuff happening in the moment and it doesn't need to be. So here we're bringing in the next track, getting it ready. I tend to prefer having the fader down for the track that's coming in, and bringing in only a few seconds before I'm about to do it. That's just how I prefer to do it. That's how I do it most of the time. Sometimes I might have it in straight away, but most of the time I bring it in just beforehand, just so for me it just keeps things clean. Crystal Alge's brother, I remember watching a mixing video of his brothers. Can't remember his name, but it's the brother of Crystal Alge, and he talked about in one of the mixes how he will use a gate on certain plugins that create some noise. So he noticed that some plugins are fantastic, but they add a lot of noise. So he decided he's going to add gates onto each individual sections to minimize that noise. And then what he says, even he just got used to doing that. That even now, the plugins that don't do it, he just puts it on just in case. And for me, with the fader down, I almost treat it like that. I treat it as a gate. It's just in case. I know that unless it's playing, it's not going to be any noise. But it's just good practice. It's good practice to keep it down. If you're not using it, just don't have it up. You're dealing with a technology. You're dealing with I don't know. Something might fall on the play button, or it just might randomly start. Like my computer randomly starts. So it's good practice just to keep the faders that you aren't using turned off and only keep the ones you're using.